Good morning students, I am Manpreet Kaur, your SST teacher. Today we are going to revise Unit 2 of Social and Political Life. So let's start. Okay students, let us now observe the concept chart of following chapters that belongs to Unit 1. Here we are seeing the chapter 1 on equality. Equality, a key feature of democracy. Now here we are going to discuss the meaning of equality. You all know that equality means the state of being equal in status, rights or opportunities. Then we are going to discuss the equal right to vote, that is universal adult franchise, and the following topics, that is dignity for all, its implementation, right to equality, government laws, programs, schemes in other countries, civil right movements in other countries, civil right movements, Afro-American movement. Now here comes the chapter number 2, the role of government in health. Here we are going to discuss the difference between the public health services and the private health facilities. Chapter number 3, here we will discuss how the state government works, the legislative assemblies, elections in constituencies, MLAs and chief ministers, how they are selected, and what is the role of the chief ministers and MLAs, and what public opinion, how public opinion is expressed through media. Now the next chapter is growing up as boys and girls. Here you can see the concept chart, what is we are going to discuss in this chart. Equal pay for women, equality for women workers. Now the next chapter comes, that is women change the world. Here you can see we are going to discuss the topics, that is stereotypes against women, how they are getting fewer opportunities, then women movements, equality for women and women rights, and so on. So let's discuss further how we are going to proceed this chapter. Okay students, after seeing the concept chart of all the chapters, let us discuss the important points of all the chapters. Here you can see in the slide about the universal adult franchise, about which we have discussed before also. Now what is this? Universal adult franchise ensures the democratic principle of equality in our nation's elections. It also ensures that the people are having the right to vote without any discrimination based on class, religion, income, gender and their location. It also ensures that the people who are having the age of 18 years or above are having the equal right to vote. Now next slide we can see that by not considering the other person good enough to be respected, they are violating their dignity. Now what is dignity? Dignity is equal to respect, and if we are violating the dignity of any person, it means we are not giving the respect to that person. Now there are three types of inequalities: gender inequality, economic inequality and social inequality. There are various government schemes to promote equality. For example, the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This act aims to provide people in rural areas with at least 100 days of wage employment in a year. The next scheme of government that is to promote the equality is the Beti Bachao and the Beti Padhao. And other is, now this aims to increase awareness on issues faced by girl children. We know that people in our society do not consider the boy and the girl equally. So this is a very good initiative taken by the government, that is Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. And following you can see in this slide, all these are the government schemes: Skill India, Yojana, Udan, midday meal scheme. Now among all, the most important scheme that is very effective and is implemented today also, that is midday meal scheme. Now meals are provided to children in government schools and government aided primary schools. Now till now we have seen the different government schemes Now let us look about the inequalities in other democratic countries. Now many countries in the world have struggled and continue to struggle against inequalities. Examples include India, the USA and the South Africa. Now let us look first at the inequality in the USA. In the United States, the whites discriminated against the African Americans. They were native Africans who were brought to America as slaves. They launched the civil rights movement in protest of this racial discrimination. Now, inequality in South Africa. In South Africa, the ruling whites discriminated against the native Africans because of their skin color. For example, we can see here that the picture is shown of benches. In this it is depicted that whites only and non-white only. Here we can see that benches like these were put in towns and cities. Some were allocated to whites and the rest were allocated to the native Africans, blacks, the colored and the Indians. Now this was here in the previous slide, all these slides, the inequality we have seen that how the people were discriminated on the basis of their color and religion in different countries, not only in India but in different countries. So it gave rise to the civil rights movements. Now what is this civil rights movements? Let us have a look on this. The civil rights movements was started in America by the African American community to protest against the discrimination of the whites. They demanded rights and equality through law. Now after discussing the chapter 1 equality, now let us go further with chapter 2 role of government in health. We know the meaning of health, that is the state of being well and free from illness. Now it's obvious that if we are becoming ill, then we have two options. Either we can go to the public healthcare centers or to the private healthcare centers. So now let us look at the difference between the public healthcare services and the private healthcare services. The first difference, as you can see, the public health services is a chain of health centers and hospitals run by the government, and the private hospitals are run by the private agencies, or we can say they are not run by the government. The second point is it means to provide quality healthcare services either free or at very low cost. And whereas we can see in the private hospitals, these services are run for profit, the cost of these services is very high. On the third point, we can see the public health services in rural as well as urban areas, whereas private health services are concentrated mainly in urban areas. Now patients usually has to wait in long queues in public hospital, but in private hospital people do not face such problems. Now government has different schemes so that they could make these things affordable, and everyone has the right to freedom of choosing their options. Now let us see what are the government schemes that are helping to become the India fit. As you can see in this slide, Fit India movement. The government has launched the Fit India movement so that it could make the people aware to remain fit. The main focus of Fit India movement is the yoga. Now the other schemes that has been launched by the government is Ayushman Bharat Yojana, Mohalla clinics, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Pulse Polio campaign. Now we will discuss the chapter number 3, how the state government works. Before discussing it, we note that there are 3 levels of governance: central government, state government and local government. But in this chapter we are going to discuss about the state government, or we can say the state legislative assembly. Now how the elections are held into this state legislative assembly. Now elections are held once every 5 years to elect representative for the state legislative assembly. Every state is divided into constituencies and the MLA is chosen from every constituencies of the state. Now the party with majority of MLAs forms the state government. The leader of the government, or we can say the leader of the ruling party, becomes the chief minister, and the chief minister is then responsible for electing his council of ministers. Now both the chief ministers and MLAs are responsible for performing all these functions, that is education, health and sanitation, social justice and empowerment, agriculture and urban development. Now we will be discussing the key points of chapter number 4, that is growing up as boys and girls. You all might be knowing what is gender stereotypes. Here you can see the images. One is of girl and one is of boy. Now the girls are always supposed that they will love the pink color. They like cooking. They do not need to study maths and science. Whereas on other hand, boys are always supposed to be good at maths and science. It is also said that if you are a boy, then you should not cry. In our home also we have seen that if there is a small boy, then we used to say him that you are a boy, you should not cry. So this all are the examples of gender stereotype. So there are different government role, or we can say there are different government schemes that is done for promoting the gender equality. There are different constitutional provisions for equality. For example, equality of opportunity. The Constitution of India aims to provide equal opportunities to all the people of India. This also includes the provision of equal educational opportunities for all. The other example is the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. The act aims to provide for equal remuneration or pay for both men and women for the same kind of work. It also aims to prevent any discrimination in employment on the basis of gender. There are another government laws and schemes that has been done, that is Anganwadis. Anganwadis are child care centers established by the government in many villages to help the women to go out of the house to work. As you can see in this, only females are employed, and all the Anganwadis includes the female workers, or we can say the female employers, so they are more responsible, and as mother they are having affection to the child and they can better care of the child. So all these examples are of government laws and schemes that has been implemented, and even they are proceeding the laws as today's also. Okay students, in last chapter number 4, we have discussed about the gender stereotype. Now let us discuss about the effects of gender on opportunities. We learned how certain professions or occupations are considered more suitable or for either men or women. This distinction is mainly based on gender related stereotypes which exist in our society. For example, you can see how the men are making the face if the boss of their company is a female, and if because this is a stereotype that the boss of the company is mainly the male person, not the female. Another example is because so many people believe in these stereotypes, many girls do not get the same support that boys do to study to become pilots, scientists, doctors and engineers. Therefore, boys and girls get far fewer opportunities in areas that do not fit into society's stereotypes. For example, if a man wants to become a chef, then we say that no, this is the work that suits to the woman, not to you. And for same, if a girl wants to become a pilot or doctor or engineer, or we can say scientist, then the same thing is said to a girl that no, it is a very long process, your age will go, how we will marry you and all. So these all are the examples of gender stereotypes. Now, India is full of examples of extraordinary women who have shown the courage to break down these gender stereotypes and have set an example for others. Now, let us look at these women. You can see here about the Sarojini Naidu. She is also known as the Nightingale of India. She is a renowned freedom fighter and a noted poet. She was the first woman to become the president of Indian National Congress and governor of her state in India. The next is Fatima Bibi, the first female judge to be appointed to the Supreme Court of India, the first Muslim woman to be appointed to any of higher judiciaries in country. And the next, that the very current example is Pratibha Patil, the first and the only female president of India so far, is also known for her contribution to women and children issues. Was also elected as the governor of Rajasthan in 2004 and is also the first woman to hold that office. Okay students, I hope that all your doubts regarding this unit has been resolved. Further, if you are having any queries regarding this unit, you can contact me personally. You will also be getting one worksheet attached with it. So try to resolve that worksheet because it will be helpful in your pre-midterm exam. At last, I want to say that all the best for your pre-midterm exams. Thank you and have a nice day.